Hey everybody, welcome to Inspire Me Higher. It's me, Ladi, La-di-da. Today we're going to talk about rejection. Ouch, ouch. We're going to talk about how rejection is basically redirection and how it's important to trust the process. Trust the process of where your life is headed, and remember that everything is always working out for your highest good, because it really is. You just got to believe it. What if I told you that rejection is not a loss, but a hidden blessing? And any no that you receive is actually pushing you towards a much bigger yes. I like yes. You like yeses? I like yeses, but it depends, really. First of all, rejection might feel personal, but it's not. It never is. You know, we've all been there. We've all been turned down for a job. We've been ghosted by someone we really cared about. Or maybe we've been passed over for an opportunity we thought was meant for us. But rejection is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of redirection. I used to take rejection personally. I used to make it mean something about me as a person. I thought it meant I was a failure. That only set me up for defeat. I was so afraid of rejection that it really held me back from doing certain things that I've always wanted to do. I would think things like, what if it goes wrong? What if it doesn't work out? What if this happened? What if that happens? What is she gonna think? Oh my God, But it really doesn't matter. Who cares? Just do it. But now I know really that wisdom comes with experience and age. Eventually you realize, who cares if you don't succeed the first time? You just get back up and try again. Just like Aaliyah in her song. If you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. Dust yourself off and try again, try again. You know the song? Oh, love her music. Yes, Aaliyah, R&B pop star. If you don't know who she is, do a search. Where's my Aaliyah fans out there? What? Back to what I was saying about failure. It's not life or death. You just learn from your mistakes, and then you try it again until you get it. That's what practice is for. The universe, God, or whatever you believe in is guiding you somewhere better. Once you truly believe this to be true, you'll do less striving, you'll do less trying, you'll stop manipulating situations just to get your way, and you'll just simply be. And one thing that I've learned is that manipulation only makes things worse. Oh my goodness. That's also one of the many recurring themes in the Bible, the Old Testament. Whenever you take matters into your own hands by manipulating circumstances, it usually always has a tendency to backfire in some way. I used to try and control everything, and I'll admit though, I would try to manipulate situations to get my way. That's just something people do to get their needs met. It's not a healthy way of doing it, but it just is what it is, really. But eventually all that manipulation just gets so exhausting, trying to keep track of everything. And for me, it led me to being so stressed and anxious. The fact that I became aware of my behavior and took accountability for my actions is really what led me to make a change. I began to see how it affected me, but also the people around me. Life it's so much more peaceful not caring so much about controlling things. Now I can just relax, and I've learned to just roll with the flow and trust that I'm being guided through life. Every rejection has purpose. A closed door prevents you from walking into the wrong room. A no today might be clearing the way for a yes tomorrow. Excuse me. Rejection builds resilience. It teaches you what's truly meant for you will always find you. Just think about some of the most famous success stories. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for TV. Michael Jordan was actually cut from his high school basketball team at one point. And J.K. Rowling was rejected 12 times before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Could you imagine that? What if they had given up? Rejection didn't stop them, so it shouldn't stop you either. Okay, so how can we handle rejection like a winner? First, reframe it. Instead of asking, why me? Ask, what's next? Be open to endless possibilities. Our goals and dreams might not happen the way we envision that they would in our minds. Sometimes life is just waiting to surprise us. Do you have the courage to let it? 2, trust the process. If something doesn't work out, remember that something better is coming. We often want to grip onto what we want out of desperation or fear, but the truth is, the more we trust that everything's happening for our highest good, we end up receiving what we were hoping for, or even better. Have you ever been waiting for a phone call or an important email or text back from someone, and the more you think about it and obsess over it, when's it going to arrive? When are they going to text me back? Blah, blah. It never comes. But the minute you let go, you move on to something else and take your mind off it, what happens? It finally comes through. You finally receive it. And that's the beauty of detaching from outcomes and trusting the process, you know? Now, I know in the moment it can feel frustrating and maybe even a little depressing. It could seem like life is leading you in the wrong direction, but what if a little detour is what you needed in order to get to your destination? Chew on that for a little bit, though. Yeah. That's sweet. That's chewy. Stay ready. Work on yourself, work on your craft, work on your mindset. And the right door will open when you're prepared. The redirection is always greater than the rejection. That person who left, maybe them leaving is making space for someone who truly sees your worth. That job you didn't get, maybe it saved you from a toxic work environment. I know those are terrible to work in. The opportunity that didn't happen, maybe something bigger is on the way. Maybe the timing just isn't right. And when you dwell on rejection, it can really discourage you and bring you down. But when you focus on the redirection instead, you'll have an attitude that's more like, oh, that didn't work out? That's fine. I'm excited for what's next. When people walk out of my life, I don't even feel sad anymore. If they want to go, they can go. Nothing I can do. We can't control people. We cannot control people. And we cannot make them stay. No. Do not do that. Because there's a reason why maybe they're meant to leave. So, yeah. I used to have abandonment wounds that stemmed from my childhood, and people get to change their mind. Maybe we've grown apart, or maybe those people who left secretly never even liked me from the beginning. That's another whole nother topic. Friends who really don't like you but want to bring you down to their level. Now, we all know those people. They're just people, and they're just trying to get their needs met in an unhealthy way, but it is what it is. But, you know, whatever the reason people leave, I just trust it now. You know, there's over 1 billion people in this world, and I know that my tribe is out there. The people who are meant to be in my life are out there. And your tribe is out there too. I promise you that. Okay, let's just go over our 3 main points. Trust the process, keep moving forward, and the right doors will open at the right time. Just trust it. Well, thanks for tuning in to Inspire Me Higher. If this message spoke to you, hit like, drop a comment below, and please subscribe. And remember, every rejection is redirection in disguise. Stay inspired, stay unstoppable. Until next time, my friends, goodbye.